Welcome to my Chanel Most Worth Coins WC Today videos is one you won't to miss. We're diving into the world of top 8 1-cent coins, so let's get it started. The 1983 United States 1-cent coin, commonly referred to as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, is a small but historically significant piece of American coinage. Although it may seem ordinary at first glance, the 1983 penny represents a key turning point in the production and materials used in U.S. coinage history. With a design that had already been in circulation for decades, the 1983 cent carried forward a rich legacy while also marking a new era in coin manufacturing. And for collectors and numismatists, it remains a coin of both commonality and hidden rarity. A design rooted in legacy. The obverse of the 1983 1-cent coin features the timeless profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Brenner's design was revolutionary at the time. It marked the first appearance of a real historical figure on a circulating American coin. By 1983, Lincoln's face had become synonymous with the penny, representing over 70 years of tradition. On the front, the words "In God We Trust" arch over Lincoln's head. Liberty sits to the left, and the date, 1983, is placed to the right. If struck in Denver, the coin will bear a small D mint mark below the date. Philadelphia issues bear no mint mark. The reverse design, introduced in 1959 on Lincoln's 150th birthday, features the Lincoln Memorial, created by Frank Gasparo, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. Above the monument are the words United States of America, and just below that is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. The denomination 1 cent is inscribed boldly at the bottom. Interestingly, a very small representation of Lincoln's seated statue is visible between the columns of the memorial, making this the only coin to feature the same individual on both sides. One of the most important things to understand about the 1983 Lincoln cent is that it represents a permanent change in the metal composition of the penny. Prior to 1982, pennies were made primarily from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. However, due to the rising cost of copper in the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint sought a more economical alternative. In mid-1982, they switched to a cheaper composition, a zinc core with a thin copper plating, resulting in a coin that looked the same but was significantly lighter in weight, 2.5 grams instead of the former 3.11 grams. The year 1982 was a transitional period where both copper and zinc pennies were produced. But 1983 was the first full year that only copper-plated zinc cents were struck. This change had significant consequences not just for the mint's budget, but also for the coins themselves. Zinc is a reactive and softer metal compared to copper, which led to various issues including plating blisters, die cracks, and corrosion if the outer copper layer was compromised. These technical challenges affected the quality of many 1983 cents, especially when it came to strike sharpness and long-term durability. Mintages and circulation. Despite the material change, the U.S. Mint produced a staggering number of Lincoln cents in 1983. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 7.75 billion coins, while the Denver Mint added another 6.47 billion, a total mintage of over 14.2 billion coins. This makes the 1983 cent extremely common in circulated condition. Even today, these pennies are found in change, piggy banks, and coin jars across the country. Because of the huge number of coins struck and their widespread circulation, the vast majority of 1983 cents have little to no numismatic value above face value, especially if they are worn or damaged. However, there are some rare exceptions that make this coin intriguing for collectors. The famous 1983 doubled die reverse (DDR). Among all the 1983 cents, the most famous and valuable variety is the 1983 doubled die reverse (DDR). This is not a minor anomaly. The doubling is very strong and dramatic, especially on the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 cent. These doubled features were caused during the hubbing process when the die received an extra misaligned impression. This error is highly sought after by collectors, and prices can range from $150 to over $1,500 depending on the coin's condition. Mint state examples, MS65 and above, can fetch even higher premiums. Spotting this variety requires a close inspection or magnification, as the doubling is not always obvious to the naked eye unless you're familiar with where to look. It is highly recommended to consult a reputable coin dealer or have the coin graded by services like PCGS or NGC if you suspect you have one. Because of the zinc core and copper plating process, 1983 cents are prone to a variety of mint errors. These include Plating bubbles are blisters, caused by poor adhesion of the copper to the zinc core. Die cracks and chips, due to stress during striking. Off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing. Clipped planches, coins that appear to have a bite taken out of them, coins struck outside the collar, causing the edges to be flat and wider. While not all these errors are valuable, extreme or dramatic examples can sell for several dollars or more to the right collector. Collecting the 1983 Lincoln cent. For collectors, the 1983 penny is often viewed as a must-have in both business strike and variety forms. The most basic form of collecting includes both the Philadelphia and Denver issues in uncirculated condition, preferably with strong red color, designated as road in grading. High-grade examples, particularly those graded MS67 road or higher, can be worth a premium, especially from third-party grading services. A more advanced collection might include the 1983 DDR, off-center strikes, and any notable die varieties or errors. Some collectors even enjoy comparing 1982 copper and zinc cents with the 1983 zinc-only issues to feel the weight difference, a fun and educational way to experience the shift in minting firsthand. Though the 1983 Lincoln cent may seem like just another penny, it is far from ordinary. It marks a crucial moment in U.S. coinage, a shift from copper to zinc, that continues to this day. It also holds a gem in the form of the 1983 doubled die reverse, one of the most dramatic and valuable modern DDRs known. Whether you're a new collector checking your change or a seasoned numismatist with a keen eye for detail, the 1983 penny offers a fascinating blend of history, economy, minting science, and treasure hunting excitement. So the next time you find a 1983 cent, take a closer look. It might just be a hidden piece of American coin history. The 1996 United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, may seem like just another copper-colored penny at first glance, but it continues the deep legacy of one of America's most iconic and enduring coin designs. This coin, minted over a century after Abraham Lincoln's presidency, represents not just a means of currency but a piece of living history, a tribute to one of the most revered American presidents, a symbol of national values, and a reflection of modern minting techniques of the late 20th century. The design and its significance. The obverse, front, of the 1996 penny features the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln, a design originally created by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to mark the centennial of Lincoln's birth. At the time, it was revolutionary to feature a real person on a circulating coin, and Lincoln was chosen for his role in preserving the Union and ending slavery. Brenner's design proved so iconic that, with only minor modifications, it continued to grace the penny well into the 21st century. On the obverse of the 1996 coin, we see Lincoln facing to the right. Above his head arches the motto, "In God We Trust." To his left is the word liberty, and to his right is the year of mintage, 1996. Just below the date is the mint mark, indicating where the coin was produced. No mint mark equals Philadelphia. D equals Denver. S equals San Francisco, proof only. This simple yet elegant design has become one of the most recognizable in American numismatics. The reverse, back, of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparro, who served as the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. This design was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replacing the previous wheat ears reverse. Above the memorial are the words United States of America, with the Latin motto E pluribus unum just below. The coin's denomination, 1 cent, is boldly displayed at the bottom. Unique feature of this reverse design is that, if examined closely, especially under magnification, Lincoln's statue is visible seated within the memorial, making the penny the only U.S. coin to depict the same person on both the obverse and reverse. Composition and specifications. By 1996, the penny had long been struck using the post-1982 copper-plated zinc composition, which consists of 97.5% zinc core. 2.5% copper plating. This change was originally made in 1982 to reduce minting costs due to rising copper prices. The coin still has a coppery appearance but is lighter than the pre-1982 coins, weighing 2.5 grams. It has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a plain edge. The copper-plated zinc composition introduced new challenges in coin production. Zinc is softer and more reactive, and the plating process could sometimes result in imperfections, such as bubbling, blistering, and corrosion if the copper coating was damaged. Still, the U.S. Mint had largely refined its production methods by the mid-1990s, and most 1996 pennies show better consistency and quality compared to the transition years of the early 80s. The 1996 Lincoln cent was produced in massive quantities, as pennies remained in high demand for commerce. Here are the approximate mintage figures. Philadelphia, no mint mark tilde 6.61 billion. Denver, D tilde 6.45 billion. San Francisco, S, proof only tilde 2.52 million. These totals place the 1996 cent among the most commonly minted coins of the 1990s. With over 13 billion business strike coins produced, it is extremely common in circulation, making it easy to find even today. The proof version, struck at the San Francisco Mint, was intended for collectors and featured a highly polished, mirror-like finish with frosted devices, Lincoln and lettering. These were not released into circulation and are typically only found in U.S. mint-proof sets. Because of its high mintage, the 1996 Lincoln cent in circulated condition is generally worth only its face value, 1 cent. However, certain versions and conditions can command higher value among collectors. Mint State, MS, coins with a bright red luster, no spots, and sharp details are considered collectible, especially in grades MS66 or higher, as certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Full red, road, coins are worth more than those with brown or red-brown toning. The proof coin, though not rare, is desirable in high grades and is often found in complete proof sets rather than loose. Although the 1996 penny is not famous for any major die varieties, some interesting errors and mint anomalies are known to exist, which can be valuable. Coins struck misaligned from the collar, missing part of the design. Clipped planches, coins that appear to have a crescent-like chunk missing. Die cracks or chips, raised lines or blobs on the coin due to a cracked die. Struck through, coins with part of the design missing due to debris or grease on the die. Double dies, rare but possible. Check for doubling on the lettering or date. While these errors vary in value, dramatic or rare examples can sell for several dollars to over $100 depending on severity and demand. The 1996 Lincoln cent remains a popular coin among casual collectors, especially those working on date and mint sets or penny albums that include every year from 1909 to the present. While the coin is common in circulated condition, it becomes more desirable in high uncirculated grades, particularly with strong red color and clean surfaces. It also represents a typical product of late 20th century coinage, produced in huge numbers, with refined but not flawless minting technology, and a composition driven by cost-saving measures. Its design links it to the long-running Lincoln Memorial series, which ended in 2008 when the mint shifted to the Lincoln Bicentennial cents in 2009 and then the Shield cent in 2010. For most people, the 1996 penny is just another coin. But for those who understand its history, composition, and the art of minting, it's a small window into the story of American currency. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just getting into the hobby, it's always worth checking your change. You never know when a simple coin could reveal a surprising piece of history. The 1999 United States 1-cent coin, better known as the Lincoln Memorial cent, is a small yet meaningful piece of American currency that carries with it a century-long tradition of honoring one of the most iconic presidents in U.S. history, Abraham Lincoln. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday, the Lincoln cent became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. By the time 1999 rolled around, Lincoln had been on the penny for 90 years, and the memorial reverse design had been in place since 1959, celebrating Lincoln's legacy by depicting the Washington, D.C. monument built in his honor. On the obverse front of the 1999 cent is the familiar right-facing portrait of Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner, with the motto "In God We Trust" arched above his head, the word "Liberty" to his left, and the date 1999 to his right. Below the date appears the mint mark, either AD for coins struck at the Denver Mint or no mint mark for coins from the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse, back, features the Lincoln Memorial in great detail, a design by Frank Gasparo, with the inscriptions United States of America across the top, E pluribus unum above the memorial, and 1 cent at the bottom. A tiny image of the seated Lincoln statue can even be seen between the columns of the memorial, making it the only U.S. coin that shows the same person on both sides. In terms of composition, the 1999 penny continued the post-1982 formula of 97.5% zinc core with 2.5% copper plating, giving it the traditional copper color while significantly reducing production costs compared to pre-1982 bronze cents. The coin has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, weighs 2.5 grams, and has a plain edge. While this modern composition was more economical, it also introduced challenges for the U.S. Mint. Zinc is a reactive metal and susceptible to corrosion if the copper plating is damaged. This made coins from this era prone to issues like plating blisters, environmental damage, and surface bubbling, especially under poor storage conditions or high humidity. In terms of mintages, the 1999 Lincoln cent was produced in massive quantities to meet the continuing demand for pennies in daily commerce. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 5.24 billion coins, while the Denver Mint produced around 6.36 billion, totaling over 11.6 billion coins. Because of this enormous production, the 1999 cent is extremely common in circulation, and worn examples are typically worth only face value. However, the San Francisco Mint also produced special proof versions for collectors, totaling around 3.3 million coins, all with a shiny, mirror-like surface and sharper details. These proof coins, marked with an S, were not released into circulation and were instead included in official U.S. Mint proof sets. From a collector's perspective, most 1999 Lincoln cents hold little to no premium in circulated condition, but coins in mint state MS condition, especially MS 65 or higher with full red color, are more desirable and can be worth between $1 and $10, depending on the grade and whether they were professionally certified by grading services such as PCGS or NGC. The proof coins, especially in PR 69 or PR 70 deep cameo condition, can fetch between $2 and $20, depending on demand and quality. While the 1999 penny does not have any widely recognized major varieties like the doubled dies seen in earlier decades, minor errors and anomalies are known to exist. These include off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planches, and struck-through debris errors. Occasionally, collectors find misaligned dies or coins with plating issues, which can be interesting to error coin enthusiasts. Though most of these errors may only command a small premium, particularly dramatic or rare examples can sell for $5 to $100 or more, depending on severity and demand. The 1999 Lincoln cent also holds historical significance as it was minted just before the turn of the millennium. While not inherently rare, it belongs to the final decade of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, which ended in 2008. In 2009, the U.S. Mint celebrated Lincoln's 200th birthday with 4 different reverse designs, and in 2010, the Lincoln Shield Reverse replaced the memorial design permanently. As such, the 1999 cent represents one of the final years of the classic memorial series and serves as a nostalgic piece for collectors who value consistency and tradition in U.S. coinage. For new collectors, finding a high-grade 1999 penny is a great addition to a date and mint collection, especially in uncirculated or proof condition. For more advanced collectors, examples in MS 67 Plus red with certification or rare errors offer added depth to a Lincoln cent set. In conclusion, the 1999 Lincoln Memorial Cent is a small but symbolic artifact of late 20th century American coinage. While its massive mintage makes it extremely common in everyday change, it still offers educational value for beginners and opportunities for seasoned collectors through mint state examples and era hunting. It stands as a reminder of Abraham Lincoln's enduring legacy, the evolution of U.S. coin design, and the economic considerations behind modern minting practices. Whether you're holding on to it for nostalgia, collecting it for condition, or hunting for hidden errors, the 1999 penny continues to play its role in telling the story of America, 1 cent at a time. The 2000 United States 1 cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, marked the beginning of a new millennium but carried forward a tradition nearly a century old. This humble coin, though often overlooked in daily transactions, holds a significant place in American history and numismatics. The design of the 2000 penny traces its roots back to 1909, when the U.S. Mint released the first Lincoln cent to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the first time a real historical figure appeared on a U.S. circulating coin. On the obverse front of the 2000 cent is the right-facing bust of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, which has remained largely unchanged since its introduction. The inscriptions on the obverse include "In God We Trust" across the top, Liberty on the left side of Lincoln's profile, and the date 2000 on the right. Below the date is a mint mark, identifying where the coin was struck, a D for Denver, no mint mark for Philadelphia, and S for San Francisco proof coins. On the reverse, back, the Lincoln Memorial is prominently displayed, a design created by Frank Gasparro and introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The reverse also features the words United States of America arching across the top, the national motto E pluribus unum just above the memorial, and 1 cent centered at the bottom. Interestingly, the Lincoln Memorial design includes a tiny image of the seated Lincoln statue visible between the columns, making this the only U.S. coin to show the same person on both sides. From a technical perspective, the 2000 Lincoln cent follows the standard composition introduced in 1982, 97.5% zinc with a 2.5% copper plating, resulting in a coin that looks like classic copper but is much lighter and more cost-effective to produce. It weighs 2.5 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a plain edge. While this composition is more economical, it also presents challenges. Zinc is a reactive metal, and if the outer copper layer is damaged, the coin is prone to corrosion and bubbling. Collectors often find 2000 pennies with plating issues, discoloration, and environmental damage, especially when improperly stored or exposed to moisture. Despite these issues, billions of these coins were minted and remain in circulation today. Speaking of production, the 2000 Lincoln cent saw huge mintage numbers. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 5.5 billion coins with no mint mark, while the Denver Mint produced about 8.9 billion, each marked with a D. Additionally, the San Francisco Mint struck around 4 million proof coins, marked with an S and specially manufactured for collectors. These proof coins were not intended for circulation and were included in U.S. Mint proof sets, featuring a highly reflective mirror finish and frosted design elements. The sheer volume of 2000 pennies makes them extremely common in circulated condition, and most examples found in everyday change are worth only their face value of 1 cent. However, for collectors, coins in pristine mint state, MS, condition, especially with full red color and no blemishes, are more desirable. Coins graded MS65 red or higher by third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC can be worth $1 to $10, depending on their eye appeal and rarity at that grade. Proof coins in PR69 or PR70 deep cameo condition are also collectible and can range from $2 to $20, especially when part of complete proof sets. Though there are no widely known major varieties for the 2000 Lincoln cent like the famous 1955 doubled die or 1995 doubled die obverse, there are still plenty of error coins and minor anomalies that excite error collectors. These include off-center strikes, clipped planches, die cracks, struck-through grease errors, and misaligned dies. Some coins may display die deterioration doubling, which can appear as fuzzy or thick lettering but is not considered a true doubled die. These errors, while usually only worth a few dollars, can be much more valuable if dramatic or rare. One of the more sought-after error types in this year is the off-metal strike, such as a 2000 cent mistakenly struck on a foreign coin planchette, though these are exceedingly rare and usually discovered by experienced collectors or those who weigh their coins carefully. Historically, the 2000 penny holds interest as one of the last full years of the Lincoln Memorial reverse, which would be replaced in 2009 with 4 new reverse designs celebrating Lincoln's 200th birthday and later, in 2010, the permanent Lincoln Shield reverse. As such, the 2000 penny marks the end of an era and is often included in last decade sets by collectors. It also reflects the minting technologies and economic practices of the late 20th century, when the mint was focused on high-speed production and cost efficiency. For beginning collectors, finding high-grade 2000 pennies is a fun way to learn about coin grading, mint marks, and minting errors. For more advanced numismatists, locating MS67 plus red specimens or certified proofs in PR70 DCAM can be a challenge worthy of pursuit. In short, while the 2000 Lincoln cent may be common in pocket change, it offers a wide range of opportunities for collectors of all levels to engage with U.S. history and the art of coin collecting. It is a coin that continues to circulate, teach, and inspire. More than just a cent, it's a piece of American heritage stamped in copper and zinc. The 2002 United States 1 cent coin, popularly known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, is part of a beloved and historic coin series that had been in continuous production since 1909. Though it may appear to be just another copper-colored penny, this coin represents the enduring legacy of President Abraham Lincoln, the evolution of American coinage, and the changing face of U.S. minting technology at the dawn of the 21st century. The obverse, front, of the 2002 cent continues to feature the timeless right-facing bust of Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday. Brenner's design has seen only subtle updates over the years, making it one of the longest-running portraits in American coin history. Surrounding Lincoln's image are the familiar inscriptions: "In God We Trust" arching over the top, "Liberty" to his left, and the date 2002 to his right. Just beneath the date is the mint mark, which identifies where the coin was struck. AD signifies the Denver Mint, no mint mark indicates the Philadelphia Mint, and S indicates a proof coin from the San Francisco Mint. On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial is depicted in striking detail, designed by Frank Gasparo in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Above the memorial are the words United States of America and the national motto E Pluribus Unum, while the bottom of the coin reads 1 cent. A notable detail is the faint image of Lincoln's statue visible between the columns, making this the only coin in U.S. history that features the same individual on both sides. The 2002 penny maintains the zinc-based composition that was adopted in 1982 to reduce production costs due to rising copper prices. As such, the coin is composed of 97.5% zinc with a 2.5% copper plating, giving it the familiar copper color while maintaining a lightweight feel at 2.5 grams. It has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, a plain edge, and is typically durable in circulation. However, this post-1982 composition also brought with it a vulnerability to plating bubbles, corrosion, and toning, especially if the copper coating is damaged, exposing the reactive zinc core. The copper-plated zinc cent is known for occasional quality issues, and collectors often search for 2002 pennies that show signs of minting errors, die deterioration, or environmental damage caused by poor storage. From a production standpoint, the U.S. Mint struck billions of 2002 Lincoln cents, continuing its tradition of mass-producing coins to meet nationwide commerce demands. Specifically, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 3.26 billion coins, no mint mark, while the Denver Mint issued around 3.36 billion coins, with a D mint mark. The San Francisco Mint created about 3 million proof coins, with an S mint mark, which were struck with extra care using polished dies and specially prepared planches to produce mirror-like fields and frosted design elements. These proof cents were not released into general circulation but sold to collectors as part of official U.S. Mint proof sets. Due to the incredibly high mintages of business strike coins from both Philadelphia and Denver, most circulated 2002 Lincoln cents are extremely common and hold only face value, 1 cent. However, uncirculated and proof coins in top condition are highly collectible, especially those graded by third-party services such as PCGS, NGC, or NX. A mint state red, MS65 or higher, 2002 penny, bright, lustrous, and free of marks, can be worth $1 to $5, and examples in MS67 red or higher are harder to find and can sell for $10 to $50 or more, depending on demand and population. Proof coins graded PR69 or PR70 Deep Cameo, DCAM, are valued by collectors and typically range from $2 to $20, especially when housed in original packaging or slabbed by a top-grading company. The 2002 Lincoln cent is not widely known for any major die varieties or widespread doubled dies, but minor errors and anomalies from the minting process do exist. These include off-center strikes, clipped planches, struck-through debris errors, die cracks, cuds, and misaligned dies, all of which can increase a coin's value depending on severity and visibility. While most of these errors are relatively minor and valued at only a few dollars, dramatic and well-preserved examples can fetch considerably more among collectors specializing in U.S.-era coins. Some 2002 cents may also display die deterioration doubling, which can give letters or numbers a blurry or distorted look, though this is not true doubling and holds limited value. Still, finding and attributing these errors adds to the fun of coin collecting and can turn a seemingly ordinary penny into a valuable piece of numismatic interest. As a historical piece, the 2002 penny serves as one of the final entries in the Lincoln Memorial Reverse series, which ended in 2008 after a remarkable 50-year run. In 2009, to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday, the U.S. Mint released 4 special reverse designs reflecting different stages of his life, followed by the introduction of the Lincoln Shield Reverse in 2010, which continues today. Therefore, the 2002 cent belongs to the last decade of the Lincoln Memorial series and holds nostalgic and historical significance for collectors assembling complete Lincoln Memorial cent sets from 1959 to 2008. It also reflects the mass production approach of early 2000s coinage, when billions of coins were produced annually to meet commerce needs in a pre-digital transaction world. While most 2002 pennies remain plentiful, those in pristine condition or with mint errors can serve as fascinating additions to a collection. Whether you're a beginner starting a date and mint set or an experienced collector grading for perfection or chasing oddities, the 2002 Lincoln cent offers variety, affordability, and a connection to America's rich coinage history. It stands as a modern representation of a century-old tradition, a pocket-sized tribute to Abraham Lincoln, and a reminder of how even the smallest coin can carry weight in history and meaning. The 2004 United States 1-cent coin, widely known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, stands as one of the final entries in a legendary coin series that began in 1959 and was preparing to evolve just a few years later. While it may appear ordinary at first glance, the 2004 penny carries immense historical, numismatic, and symbolic significance. The obverse, front, of the coin features the time-honored right-facing bust of President Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. For nearly a century, Lincoln's portrait has appeared on the 1-cent coin, making it one of the longest-running designs in American coinage history. The design remains iconic, with "In God We Trust" appearing at the top, Liberty to the left of Lincoln, and the year 2004 to the right. Below the date lies the mint mark, D for coins struck at the Denver Mint, and no mint mark for those from the Philadelphia Mint. There is also an S mint mark for proof coins produced at the San Francisco Mint, which are crafted with extra care and detail, intended solely for collectors. Turning the coin over to the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, an iconic neoclassical monument located in Washington, D.C., rendered in fine architectural detail. Designed by Frank Gasparro, the reverse shows the national monument flanked by the inscriptions United States of America and E pluribus unum above, and 1 cent along the bottom. In a unique feature, a tiny seated figure of Lincoln can be seen between the columns of the memorial, making this coin series the only one to feature the same historical figure on both the obverse and reverse. In terms of composition, the 2004 Lincoln cent continues the post-1982 format, a core of 97.5% zinc coated with a 2.5% copper plating, giving it the appearance of a traditional copper coin while significantly reducing manufacturing costs. The coin weighs 2.5 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, a plain edge, and is struck in large quantities for mass circulation. Though this composition is cost-effective, it presents a few problems over time. If the copper plating becomes scratched or damaged, the zinc core is susceptible to corrosion, leading to bubbles, surface discoloration, or even pitting. As a result, 2004 cents often show wear or chemical damage when retrieved from circulation. However, examples preserved in mint state, especially those with a bright, original red color, are still highly desirable to collectors and hobbyists. The mintage numbers for the 2004 Lincoln cent are massive. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 3.78 billion coins with no mint mark, while the Denver Mint produced around 3.43 billion coins marked with a D. These figures reflect the continued importance of the penny in everyday commerce during the early 2000s, even as credit card and digital transactions began to rise. The San Francisco Mint produced roughly 2.96 million proof coins with the S mint mark, all of which were struck on polished dies using specially prepared planches to achieve sharp, mirror-like finishes with frosted details. These proof coins were never meant for circulation but were included in collector-proof sets issued by the U.S. Mint. In terms of value, most 2004 pennies found in circulation are worth only their face value, but those in uncirculated mint state, MS, condition, especially MS65 red or higher, can be worth between $1 to $10 depending on quality, luster, and grading. Coins graded MS67 or MS68 red, while scarcer, can fetch premiums in the $20 to $100 plus range. Proof coins in PR69 or PR70 Deep Cameo, DCAM, condition are also collectible and typically sell for $5 to $30, depending on the market and presentation. The 2004 Lincoln cent does not have any famous major varieties, like the 1995 doubled die or 1984 doubled ear, but that doesn't mean it lacks collector interest. There are a number of minor errors and anomalies known from this year, including die cracks, die chips, cuds, struck through debris, and off-center strikes. Some coins also show signs of die deterioration doubling, where aging dies cause a distorted, blobby look to the lettering. though this is not considered true doubling and carries limited numismatic value. However, more dramatic mint errors, such as clipped planches, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong metal planches, can be worth significantly more depending on rarity and condition. These errors are typically valued between $5 to several $100s, depending on how extreme and appealing they are to error coin collectors. From a historical perspective, the 2004 cent is especially interesting because it falls within the final years of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, which would be retired after 2008. In 2009, to celebrate the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth and the centennial of the Lincoln cent itself, the U.S. Mint released 4 special reverse designs depicting different phases of Lincoln's life: his birth and early childhood, formative years, professional life, and presidency. In 2010, the reverse design changed permanently to the Union Shield, marking a new era in the Lincoln cent series. This makes the 2004 penny part of the last chapter of the Memorial Reverse era, a period spanning 50 years, from 1959 to 2008. For collectors who enjoy building complete sets or commemorating coin design changes, the 2004 penny is a key piece in completing the Memorial series and understanding how U.S. coinage reflects American history and iconography over time. Ultimately, the 2004 Lincoln Memorial cent is more than just a common coin in pocket change. It's a historical artifact tied to Abraham Lincoln's legacy, mid-20th century architecture, and the evolving economic priorities of the U.S. Mint. Whether you're a beginner starting a penny collection, a hobbyist hunting for mint state examples, or a specialist in U.S. errors and varieties, the 2004 penny offers opportunities for discovery, learning, and appreciation. Its high mintage makes it accessible, but its role in a long-running and soon-to-end design series gives it lasting importance. With its bold symbolism, resilient design, and quiet place in billions of daily transactions, the 2004 cent remains a small but powerful emblem of the American experience, uniting past and present, history and everyday life, 1 cent at a time.